Great. So I'm talking with Charles Cresson Wood, who is quite often referred to as father of the security policy. Charles, you just presented on security policies here today at the Secure World Conference in Detroit. What have you seen in the changes over the 20, 30 years that you've been preaching security policies?
Well, I'm once again impressed with human nature and how human nature is apparently defeating us in the information security field. We have the reluctance to change unless we're absolutely forced to do so, showing up once again in the arena of information security policies. A number of different studies are indicating that the most fundamental breaches of information security are continuing even to this day, 2008. For instance, people are sharing passwords when they shouldn't be. People are, downloading confidential proprietary information onto memory sticks when they shouldn't be. They know all this stuff is in fact in violation of policy, and they're doing it anyway because it's convenient, because it's easy, because they're under pressure to get things done. So we evidently don't have people on board yet. The missing link when it comes to information security policies is to integrate the rules which are defined in information security policies into the larger business so that it becomes a part of the culture, becomes part of the way that people are looking at their jobs, becomes in fact something that they see as required in order to maintain their job. So I'm really big on, for instance, having information security compliance be a part of the performance evaluation process. I'm suggesting that organizations have a specific line item in the evaluation form which says, does this individual abide by information security policies and standards, yes or no? Just to have it in the evaluation form is a great way to communicate, hey, this is important. This is something that we believe is an important part of your job. If you want to continue to work here, you're going to need to get on board with information security.
What about technology? Shouldn't we just buy a bunch of great security tools to enforce these policies?
Well, there are a bunch of really great security tools. For instance, there's some new tools that can do training over an intranet. They can have people take tests to make sure that they understood information security policies. They can get videos that talk about how to do things like managing confidential information when they're on the road and they're doing some telecommuting. Those technologies, however, are an adjunct to the other aspects of the essential equation in information security. It needs to very importantly include process and people and policy. And so those are the 4 Ps, product, process, people, and policy, that I think everybody should be addressing. We need more attention on people, on enrolling people into the way of thinking which incorporates good, strong practices in the information security field. We need to augment the training and awareness budget in many organizations to look at what's working and what's not working, what is the gap between the way we want people to be behaving and the way they are behaving right now, and then specifically speak to that gap in our information security awareness training and talk about why it's important not to be sharing passwords, not to be downloading data onto memory sticks, not to be doing the other things that they may be doing at your organization that may be causing vulnerabilities and potential security incidents.
What's the future of security policies? Are you going to be here 20 years from now still trying to get everybody to follow the policies?
Well, I certainly hope not. I'm, kind of cynical because I've been doing this for 30 years and, we haven't gotten further than we are. But I do hope that when we approach this in a more holistic fashion, when we talk more about the people and the ways in which all these things fit together, when we start bridging the technology of information security and make it part of the business so that it's an ongoing function and it is perceived as such, like marketing, like accounting, like these other disciplines you wouldn't think of cutting when you're in a recession. When information security is perceived that way, I think we will be much further ahead. But the future is going to be many automated tools that will do this for us. And I cite as an example the P3P privacy preferences criteria, which was developed at MIT. It's incorporated into Microsoft Explorer and a bunch of other browsers. It's essentially a way that you can automatically convey your personal information over the web to a web merchant if they have a good, strong privacy policy that, for instance, says they're not going to share it with a third party. They're only going to use it to fulfill your order. Then you feel confident, oh, I'm going to disclose the data. I'll go ahead and have it be downloaded automatically. The important part about that approach is that the whole conversation about privacy policy recedes into the background, but it can only recede into the background and become automated if we get clear about what are the rules, how are we going to implement them, if we all agree to that particular approach. And so we're in that difficult situation right now where we don't agree on that approach. For instance, the Europeans have a very different approach to privacy than we do here in the United States. And even from firm to firm, we don't agree on that. So when we set up an extranet or some sort of a business relationship to share data, these are the areas that are going to need to be negotiated. So we're going to see in the future a whole lot more policy harmonization and a really clear way in which to state these are our information security policies. This is the framework we're using in order to define our policies so that other firms can understand, do they have compatible policies, and then we can go ahead and have our information systems hook up and work together in a way that is indeed secure. Another aspect of where we're going when it comes to information security policies is expert systems that will be able to look at what it is that we have created in the information security policy field and identify inconsistencies, identify areas in which we haven't implemented it correctly, identify ways in which we've set things up perhaps with our systems configurations so that it is a violation of certain requirements, such as those defined by Visa and MasterCard in the PCI standard. And it will bring that to management's attention through a dashboard in real time. And it will tell you either things are configured as they should be and they're working as they should be, or no, you've got a problem over there. A systems administrator has, for instance, downloaded a patch to the system software, and in the process, some configurations got reset to the default open parameters. That's now creating a hole. You need to be addressing it. It's those automated ways to deal with policies that we will come to terms with the giant complexity of this field, the outrageous number of things we have to be considering over the long run.
Thank you, Charles. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Richard.
You bet.
Nice to see you.